Hey guys, Eric with OzoneTCG. We have Nick with his Salamangreat deck. I think he went 10-0 across a couple of events over the weekend. Nick, let's talk about your profile.
I'm playing Salamangreat. It's just pure Salamangreat. This is my favorite deck, so every time it's playable, I like to play it. But yeah, I guess we can start off with the monsters. I play 3-lane debug. I play this over Flame Buffalo mainly because I think it just trades really well into hand traps. I'm okay with them negating this over like my Gazelle since I have just so many ways to it. I played 10 total, 3 debug, 3 circle, 3 side mining, and the Gazelle, so that's 10. Yeah, I don't know. It's also level 4. That's also good. The only bad thing about this card is it's a light for Lino, so that sucks. But yeah, it also searches Microcoder, which I play. And then for the actual Salamangreats, I play only 2 Foxy, 2 Spinny, 2 Jaguar, 1 Falco, 1 Gazelle. I want to try Mirror, but yeah, and the reason I play 2 of each is because I play Potted Desires, and you really only need like 1 copy of each. But the only bad hands when you draw is like when you draw way too many Salamangreats, so you don't want to see any of these activate except for Gazelle. So like, I don't know, it's weird. I do play Baguska, so like yeah, I sat out Falco going second a lot. But Foxy's broken. It just like I want more ways to play around my normal summon, so like I'm okay with like normal summoning this and like it getting like destroyed somehow, like Chimera. Yeah, I don't know. Jaguar is cool. Piercing, most people don't know he does that. I play through Parallax Seed. Makes Baguska lets you play through a lot of hand. It's really good into boards also because it just, I mean, it's a free card, so you think like they have to get the hand effect, which is just not many people want to do, and you can chain block that part, so you're usually getting a free card. And I play 2 Microcoder. So this card's really good. Well, this card's just okay, but the trap card just makes this deck so much better. So it's just like always like worth it to play this engine. But in my opinion, and also like most people don't see it coming, and if you're gonna make Heat, so you might as well just like make it for like free with the +1. So yeah, I side out every game 2 and 3 if I go second. Like this does not stay in. Also playing against like a trap deck, and I don't have anything else to side take out. But yeah, this card is like it's just okay to be honest, because it's just really bad going second. But it does surge Sign and Conflict, which is really broken. 3 Nibiru for my hand traps, 3 Valor, and 3 Ash. So the reason I don't play anymore because I don't think any of the other hand traps are as good as these. Outside of Imperm, but Imperm doesn't work with Heat Soul, and I just don't think there's a reason to play it. I guess like at that point, like I don't want to draw into Heat like Imperm off it, and I could play Ghost Mourner, but I just don't think it's good enough. Also, I just think having like more ways to play the game is just always better. Yeah, why don't you basically live turn 1? I mean, their turn 2, like their turn 1, which is I guess turn 2. You basically should usually win the duel. That's the hardest part because yeah, living in this deck is like very hard, especially when you put yourself at 6,000. And if you don't do that play, like you're usually ending on like Heat's like Sunlight Wolf Baguska, which is like, you know, if they're outing the Baguska, Sunlight Wolf's only 18. So whoops, those are trappers. But yeah, for the spells, I play 3 Circle, 3 Sign of Mine. Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't play 6 and 3 of each. It's just Rhoda.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, and I guess I play Will. Most people don't play this card anymore. Like I said, there's one more ways to play the game, especially without your normal summon getting stopped. It is really hard to play. So yeah. Also, this is like just the perfect grind game ever. It's like one of the few ways you can play through Nib. And I play Link Spider, so if you get Nib, you can just Will, summon back Sunlight Wolf, make Link Spider, make Heat Soul. So that's cool. I don't ever do that play, but you know it does exist. Usually, I either have to make Roar, or I like set Roar, because previously I haven't been playing Link Spider. For the last of my spells, I play Sanctuary and Call by the Grave. This card is broken. Yeah, I kind of have to play this card. It's also really good with Ibly, which we'll talk about, I guess. And then for the traps, 1 of each. I really like having like a heavy style lineup, since like there's just no reason to play this deck. Like if you're playing this deck just to go Heat Soul Pass, like there's just better. Like you might as well just play a different deck because that's terrible. Like Salad has like it has a really, it probably has one of the best grind games in Yu-Gi-Oh. So yeah, these cards just, you know, you add them back every turn. It's like why I think this deck's good, because as long as you can live, you can usually outgrind your opponent. I guess I should talk about conflict. It is roar. Like, so if you control a Code Talker, you can negate a monster spell or trap activation, like effect for monster effects, and then you negate it, banish it, and you can't activate until the end of the next turn. Your opponent can. So if you negate right, they cannot activate in their right. Same with like Brain Infusion. So that's why this card's so good. Like having this plus like your Heat Soul makes all the token decks so much better, since they even though they play so many right, opening multiples is like never beating you if you negate it, which sucks when you have Roar. And when you have both, it's just like 2 counter traps is just really good to negate anything. And then for the extra deck, I play 3 Bailings. You definitely have to play 3. I summon 3 almost every game. This is the reason this deck's like good. Like this card's just, it makes everything playable. Salamangreat Wolf 3. I thought about playing 2, but there's no reason not to play 3, to be honest. Yeah, grind game makes Heat Soul pretty cool. Same with Wing Grebo. It used to be actually like negate traps, but these days you just make Heat Soul with it. Link Spider. This card can be anything. It can be a second. What's it called? Flash Mage. It could be a second Transcode. It could be a Helio, Hida, Transcode, Almirage. It could be whatever you want. I just think Link Spider comes up a lot, especially with Galaxy and yeah, the will play. You just always, like, you can never do anything with the token ever, and that's just so awful, because like usually even if you do live, it's just there and you can't get rid of it. It's just awful. And then I play Update Jammer. Yeah, this is like the reason to actually play this deck is the extra deck. Like these last 5 cards. Yeah, these are like the reason. This card just lets you know, attack twice, and people always forget it can like, it applies to every monster it's used for. So yeah, people like you can summon Transcode and Access Code, and people forget they both get 2 attacks. Splash Mage is just Monster Reborn. That's why I was playing 2 of it, because a lot of times when you make Heat Soul turn 1, you want to like go for like another Splash Mage play, like it comes up turn 3. Heat Soul, this card's really broken. Just every time you can usually go like Sunlight Wolf, Jaguar, or Pass, you can now end on a card that like at least does something. And even though it's not like broken, but drawing, we know, Hook effect is pretty nice. Transcode, everyone forgets it targets, everyone forgets it's 500. People also forget you can only summon Cybers that turn, so like if you are playing Hida or the Adventure cards, you can never use this card, which sucks. And that's like one reason I don't like the Adventure engine. But I just really like Sal. I just don't think it's good enough. Like, you might as well just play D-Link or the Health decks over Salamangreat.
It's also cool that Decode Talker Heat Soul is, of course, a Code Talker monster. So if you have like Signet Conflict plus Heat Soul, you're probably fine. Just because you can negate whatever, draw 2. It seems really good.
Yep. And then yeah, it also works with Transcode and Access Code. So there's a lot of times you can like you'll pass with a Heat Soul with this set still, and you can just like link something into Access Code, and like people always forget it's an actual Code Talker, so it's just really funny. And then the last 2 I play Gazelle. The second one never comes up. Yeah, this card's also like half your win conditions. This deck has a really good matchups going like first into Sword Soul and Despia because of this, and then especially with this card. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Like them together is like basically just an FTK if they have droplets. Yeah, and then the only monster I play on my side is 3, I believe, because this card is like the only reason to actually play this deck. It just beats Despia, it beats Sword Soul, it beats Drytron. Even against the like Howl Punk deck, like the Adventure Punk decks, if you can end on Sunlight Wolf with a Rage, you should also just win because you just out there normal summon. So if people who don't know, when this card's sent from the owner, like when they send to my graveyard, I can send special summon to my opponent's side of the field, and while you control this card, you can only link summon. So it's basically just like an FTK since they don't play links. And then if they try to crash, like you go Baylink, summon this to your opponent's side of the field, and they try to crash into it, You can use the field spell with random effect that you basically pay 1,000 to make your monster 0 to gain that monster's original attack. So it doesn't die, and it works for any Link monster. So yeah, people never realize that, so you don't ever have to worry about them crashing. So that's like, it's really nice. So you can basically just guarantee you're gonna win the game off of just almost only.
It's also interesting that a lot of people don't seem to know that a monster with 0 attack attacking into another monster with 0 attack does not kill both of them. Nothing happens. It's like attacking into a defense position monster.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this random card randomly has a random other effect that's like makes this deck way better for no reason. For the current form. I don't own droplets, but or I would just play droplets. But yeah, this card mainly not because I think this card is better. But droplet just beats anti-spells, and a lot of people like to decide anti-spell against this deck, even though it's terrible. Because I play Foxy, I play Circle, which is a quick play spell. And especially if I have droplets, it's just like it just gets worse. I don't even play that many spells. Especially like it stops with Signing Mining, Will, Pot of Desires. Like what 8 cards in my deck? Like that's fine. Like I don't know, Signing Mining. I mean that's whatever. I can play Foxy, discard, blow it up. It's kind of funny. But yeah, Dark Lore, this card's broken. They don't have anti-spell, but they always do. Sad. I played Mystic Mine, so I was playing Tome Collector, but I realized I don't have a side for Despia going second. So I put these in over Tome Collector since this also still be Sorcel. They just like force it in negate at least. And if they don't have a negate, you just win. Yeah, it's also good against Despia since it just beats their deck too. 3 Twin Twister and Red Reboot. I don't play Duster because of Droplet. And yeah, this deck just beats every back row deck because, with these, plus Foxy, plus Winged Grebo, plus, that Access Code, and, having a grind game, you should never lose to those decks. And then the last card is 3D Barrier because, no reason, I just want to, if I go first, I should just always beat any, Sorcel Despia deck because, 3 Ibly, play this, Baguska, I can literally in on all 3 of them, and obviously that never happens, but if it does, you should never lose. You have 3 different win conditions in play. Yeah, there's no counterplay to this card. I don't like the anti-spell since I'm not ending on any actual cards I care about. Yeah, I don't know. People who side and back remove, they still lose. This card's just really funny.
That's awesome. What do you think about this deck in the current format for the North American National Championship?
I think this deck can definitely probably top. It's just, I think you just have to win more die rolls. I think it's a little bit more die roll dependent. I'm not gonna lie. I think against all the Dragon Link Adventure or the Pong Adventure decks, I think they just have a better time going first since their deck ends on actual boards. And basically, this deck has become a floodgate deck if you think about it. Because I just go Baguska pass or Heat Soul pass. Those are my only 2 options. So I can end on Roar Rage, but it's not very much compared to having a Baron, Hulk, Hot Red, or whatever they end on, Savage, with Snow. It's just a bit better than the Baguska pass. But you should always win against any of those decks going first, pre-side, post-side. But if you do go, obviously people just don't know what this deck does anymore, which is kind of funny. Also, you can just kind of play through boards with just pure salad cards, since you can almost always make access code through a board. But yeah, I wouldn't expect it to win, but I think it's top.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And then post Power of the Elements, do you think you would play this deck, or would you rather play Mathmech?
No, probably be playing Mathmech because I think that's just a better Salamangreat at this point. But who knows? Maybe Mathmech Salamangreat is a deck that can exist in the future that I haven't thought about.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I guess we will see how this deck does at the North American National Championship next week. Thank you so much, and thank you guys so much for watching.